They say success is the best revenge, but precision is key. My name is Ava Sinclair, and this is a story of how an arrogant executive's overconfidence led to his downfall. I never imagined myself as the owner of one of New York's top investment firms. My true passion had always been preserving history, bringing life back to forgotten artifacts. That's why my weekends were spent running Timeless Finds, a charming antique shop in a historic neighborhood, while my weekdays saw me as a senior analyst at Blackstone Financial. Corporate life paid the bills, but my heart belonged to that little shop. Every item on its shelves had a story. Just like me, my late grandfather, a talented restorer, had passed down his expertise, teaching me how to recognize value where others saw worthlessness. After he passed away 6 years ago, the modest inheritance he left me helped me open a store of my dreams. Remember, Ava, he used to say, true worth is hidden in the details. Only as sharp I can find it. Those words stayed with me, becoming more meaningful than he could have ever imagined. At Blackstone Financial, I was known for my thorough analysis and keen instincts. I worked my way up from a junior analyst to a senior strategist, respected by colleagues who found my double life as a shopkeeper peculiar at best. But everything changed the day Marcus Langston arrived. Langston, the newly appointed operations director, was the definition of corporate arrogance. His polished appearance masked his cutting remarks and penchant for belittling others. He called himself a visionary, but all he really did was take credit for other people's work. From the moment he stepped in, he made it his mission to undermine me. You know, Ava, running a flea market on weekends doesn't exactly scream financial expertise. He once mocked during a meeting. His constant ridicule was always aimed at my so-called outdated methods. I ignored him. What Langston and the rest of the firm didn't know was that my weekend passion wasn't just a distraction. It was a foundation of something much bigger. For 3 years, I had been using my ability to spot value to build a private investment portfolio. Many of those estate sale relics turned out to be rare, high-value treasures. I carefully restored them and sold them to collectors, while the profits, combined with smart market investments, had quietly turned my grandfather's inheritance into a substantial fortune. Then, 3 months ago, Langston unknowingly set his own downfall in motion. One afternoon, I overheard him laughing loudly in the lounge. Can you believe Ava Sinclair spent her weekend selling junk? I wouldn't trust her with my pocket change, let alone our firm's assets, he boasted to a group of junior executives. His cronies chuckled nervously, but my closest ally, Sophie Wright, clenched her fists. Later, Sophie confided in me. Marcus is preparing a proposal to the board. He's planning to call your strategies outdated and push you out completely. I thanked her, but I wasn't worried. My own plan was already in motion. Unbeknownst to Marcus, Blackstone Financial's founding partners had been quietly searching for a buyer. The firm was ripe for acquisition, and I was the perfect candidate. I had spent months building trust with the founders, ensuring they knew I shared their investment philosophy. Armed with my portfolio and a consortium of discreet investors, I made them an offer they couldn't refuse. Only the partners, and I knew that by the end of the month, I would own 51% of Blackstone Financial. The Saturday before the transition, Marcus stormed into Timeless Finds, his designer suit as loud as his ego. Well, he sneered, picking up a restored Tiffany lamp. Thought I'd see your little operation before Monday's meeting. Quaint, isn't it? Is there something I can help you with, Marcus? I asked coolly. Just a heads up, after my presentation on Monday, the board will see the firm needs fresh leadership. Let's face it, Ava, you're better suited to running a thrift store than a financial institution. I met his smug grin with a polite smile. Funny, I have a feeling Monday's meeting will be unforgettable. Marcus chuckled, the sound dripping with condescension. I'll miss your optimism. Monday morning arrived bright and clear. I walked into the office wearing my grandfather's vintage Patek Philippe watch, a symbol of the legacy he had entrusted to me. Sophie rushed to meet me at the elevator, panic in her eyes. Ava, Marcus is in the boardroom now. He's tearing into your strategies. You need to defend yourself. I squeezed her hand. Patience, Sophie. Let him finish digging his own grave. At 9 o'clock sharp, I strode into the boardroom. Marcus was mid-presentation, confidently declaring my methods outdated. His self-satisfied expression faded when he saw me. "Ava," he said, surprised. "Didn't expect you here. Why would I miss such an important meeting?" I replied with a smile, taking a seat. The founding partners exchanged knowing grins. They already knew what was coming. Marcus continued his pitch, unaware of the anticipation brewing in the room. As he wrapped up Thomas Blackstone, the firm's eldest partner cleared his throat. "Thank you, Marcus. Now, Ava, would you care to share your perspective?" I stood, calm and composed. "Certainly, Thomas. But before I do, I'd like to thank the board for their trust. As of yesterday, I finalized the purchase of a 51% controlling interest in Blackstone Financial. Effective immediately, I am the majority owner." The room fell silent, except for Marcus's shocked sputtering. "Impossible!" he exclaimed. I turned to him with a measured smile. "Value, Marcus, isn't always obvious at first glance. Perhaps next time, you'll think twice before dismissing someone's worth." The partners erupted in applause. As for Marcus Langston, he quietly packed his things and left, his reign of arrogance reduced to nothing but a cautionary tale. I strongly advocate for the immediate reorganization of the senior analytical team, beginning with, "Thank you, Marcus." I interjected, my tone steady yet resonant enough to reach every corner of the boardroom. That was insightful. "Now, if you'll permit me, I have a presentation of my own." Marcus faltered, his composure unraveling. "What?" he stammered. "You're not authorized to," he began. But before he could finish, Thomas Blackwell, the company's most senior founding partner, intervened. "She is," Thomas stated firmly. "Please proceed, Ava." With deliberate movements, I connected my laptop to projector, fully aware of the gravity of the moment. While Marcus had been surreptitiously capturing unauthorized photos and assembling misleading slideshows, I had been working on something far more consequential. With a single keystroke, I revealed the first document, the finalized ownership transfer agreement. As of yesterday afternoon, I announced, I am a majority shareholder of Blackwell and Grant Investments, holding 51% of the company. A stunned silence gripped the room. Marcus's face flushed a deep crimson, an expression that might have been comical under different circumstances. "That's impossible," he sputtered. "You're just a what, Marcus?" "A mere shopkeeper." I challenged, raising an eyebrow. Another click displayed a series of analytics detailing the steady and impressive performance of my personal investment portfolio over the past 5 years. While you scoffed at my so-called junk shop, I was quietly cultivating an empire. Those so-called worthless trinkets? They financed my initial major investments. The meticulous attention to detail you ridiculed, it enabled me to identify undervalued assets that others dismissed. The boardroom remained deathly quiet as I presented the undeniable facts. My portfolio's consistent long-term success, my steadfast commitment to the company's core values, and my strategic vision for its future. "You see, Marcus," I continued, "true value isn't found in fleeting gains or ostentatious presentations. It lies in the ability to discern potential where others perceive none." With a final keystroke, I displayed the concluding slide, a single bold statement. "Marcus Langston is hereby terminated, effective immediately." He shot to his feet, his expression twisted with fury. "You can't do this. I have contracts, agreements, which contain explicit misconduct clauses." I interrupted smoothly, nodding toward the security team stationed at the door. Unauthorized photography of employees and fostering a hostile work environment fall well within those violations. Our legal team will handle the formalities. As security escorted Marcus from the room, his protest diminished into insignificance. I turned to the board, my voice unwavering. This company was founded on principles of integrity, patience, and respect for genuine value. I intend to uphold those ideals. Those who share this vision are welcome to stay. Anyone who does not is free to follow Mr. Langston's example. Not a single person stirred. The hours that followed were a whirlwind of congratulatory handshakes, strategic discussions, and a company-wide ripple of astonishment. Around midday, Sophie burst into my office, eyes wide, breathless. "You knew," she exclaimed, half laughing, half accusing. All this time, you knew. Leaning back in my chair, a satisfied smile crossed my lips. Sometimes the best strategy is patience. By evening, Marcus's office was stripped bare, his nameplate removed. I sat at my new desk, gazing out at the city skyline, when my phone buzzed with a message from Thomas Blackwell. Your grandfather would be proud. I glanced at the vintage watch adorning my wrist. His watch. He had taught me to find beauty in forgotten things, to uncover value hidden beneath layers of neglect. His lessons had led me here. The following weekend, I was back at Timeless Finds, meticulously restoring a Victorian writing desk. Customers were surprised to see the new CEO of Blackwell and Grant Investments, sanding wood. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Each piece in the shop told a story, tales of transformation and rediscovered worth, much like my own. As for Marcus, last I heard, he was struggling to justify his abrupt departure to prospective employers. His penchant for shortcuts and hasty wins had finally caught up with him. Meanwhile, our firm flourished, remaining steadfast in the values that had always distinguished us. In my office, I kept a display case holding 3 cherished items. My grandfather's first antique find, a delicate porcelain teacup, a framed photograph of Timeless Finds, and our company's most recent quarterly report reflecting our continued success. Together, they serve as a powerful reminder. True value, once recognized, has the potential to change everything. Every so often, I open a file containing Marcus's infamous PowerPoint presentation, not as a trophy, but as a reminder. Success isn't about silencing critics. It's about remaining true to yourself and finding value where others fail to see it. And Timeless Finds? It remains open every weekend, a living tribute to belief that, much like antiques, every person holds hidden worth, waiting to be uncovered.